It's here. It's upon us. Not all, but some lifters are going to have a life-defining, or at least a life-altering moment today. Right? So take a look at me, head to toe. Right? Everything's going on, but look at this. Right? Look at these things. This, having all your fingers, that's something I'm very grateful for. A couple years ago, I sliced my thumb pad open. Like, I couldn't see the bone, but it was through all sorts of tendons and everything. I mean, it's just terrible. I got sewn back up, so first I went to the emergency room and he just, sewed me up on the outside. And then a couple days later, I had might have been a hand-foot specialist. I don't know. But either way, a real pro kind of surgeon reassemble and do muscular sutures. And now, I didn't even notice. I mean, curling, benching, rowing, whatever, everything healed up quite well. Lucky me. But in the meantime, just knowing that my hand was screwed up, it's fucking terrible, I couldn't curl. I could hardly do push-downs. My workaround, so I guess this is an unfortunate tip for anybody who gets their, who loses a couple digits. It's not the end of the world, and you can still lift. What you do is you take an ankle attachment that people usually use for glute kickbacks, and you wrap it around your upper forearm. So, right, by doing that, you've now attached load here rather than at your hand, and you can do a cable curl. You can kind of do a push down. Push down's a little tricky, and you can press super well. Like I was pressing pretty freaking heavy, just by attaching it at the wrist and not at the hand. Now for back, all I would do is like hold on with my fingers, but if you couldn't do that, back you might just be kind of screwed. But hopefully that just doesn't even happen, and you don't have to worry about it. So that's my little mantra for the day. All right, keep all your fingers this fourth. So me and Mark might end up doing some kind of something today. That'll probably be a separate video. So if this ends up being a July 4th special double upload, even better. But this one's just a straight up pump. I love this drive because there's always the same two big ass hawks on the power lines. I say that a lot. But yeah, standard lift, arms, planning on being as pumped as possible. It's gonna be sweet. But in terms of something a little bit more real, I got some flack for this, and you tell me what you think. Now, of course, I don't, this isn't meant in any way mean-spirited, but this had to be maybe a few months ago, probably months ago or so. I basically got into, and this is probably just because I saw like a bunch of people make posts in this way, because there's a very self-soothing activity which you can do, and it's not necessarily empathy seeking, but it's just self-pitying. It's woe is me, nothing is going right, I have no control, I give up. And I said this a couple days ago, I think, where that's a very, sometimes that's a safe move. Sometimes you actually have to surrender. It's not like I'm giving myself deja vu. I'm saying this in the exact same way I just said it. But it's not like we're going to battle with fucking, spears and swords and shields and everything. But, sometimes you got to tell yourself, this isn't working. I got to pivot. I got to do something else. I wasn't meant to be a sculptor. I got to go back and whatever, who knows? And sometimes that's legit. But there's a preemptive response to want to surrender from something which you really don't have to, just because it's getting a little hard, just because it's a little tough. And I think not even because it's hard, it's because you don't feel like you've been rewarded fast enough. I see so many posts of guys, and it's just the classic dysmorphic kind of stuff. I'm not trying to dog on anybody for this, but it's essentially just a video. I hate how I look. I'm eating like shit. My sleep is terrible, and I've barely been in the gym. And at what point does a legitimate, let's just say, personal struggle become a self-induced loop, because what complaint in that situation is external? I haven't been going to sleep when I should. I haven't been eating right. I haven't been training. I haven't been feeling, like up for it. That's a lot of I's, that's a lot of I'm not kind of stuff, right? Now, if you have a legit, like, dude, I do not have time to go to the gym because I just got this awesome opportunity and I'm going to work an oil rig. I'm 22, I'm going to work an oil rig with my uncle. That's totally different, But if time isn't the constraint and it's just this internal, like, where's the fire coming from, then you've just got to turn that around, And it's, obviously this is easy for me to say because right now in my current state of being, very motivated, very consistent. I have a lot of fun doing it, But it's, the way I'm looking at it is, take things to the extreme. And a lot of different kind of arguments and a lot of different sort of opinions. I think you can, or even just decisions to make. You can get a grasp of where you really stand and what sort of way you really want to lean by taking either side as far as you can, right? So with the gym, for me, okay, I've got two extremes. I can keep working out, keep dieting, keep doing my cardio, keep training like I like, even if maybe, the day doesn't suit me or something. Or let's not even say me, let's just say someone, right? This individual X can lock into his routine, do his cardio, track his calories, train hard, give himself a schedule and at least more so a priority of time throughout the day so that he can train. And then, right, be working to benefit his future self, because you're not, the benefit apart from the enjoyment of the lift in the moment or the fact that you're on track, like that's in the moment benefits, but the real benefits is later. My first day of a prep, I'm not any leaner, and it's just as hard as the last day, just to stay in a regular kind of deficit. So it's like, right, working towards a little bit more of a delayed gratification. Or, man, it's a fucking long one today, man. I only just got back to the house. It's already 7. And then the situation is as such. It's Friday. Planet Fitness closes at 9. I want to chill for a minute. Do I really want to take my pre and go hit arms? I'm just gonna chill, right? And I was about to say the drive, but the desire to chill outweighed the desire to get after it, and outweighed the desire to benefit from that lift later on. And not even that far later on, I've had lifts where, my schedule was getting pretty hectic, and after finishing it, even just in the moment, getting back into the car, nice, because as basic and kind of plain as it sounds and like trivial, every workout is a win. Every cardio session, every pump, every leg day, that's a W. That's a W onto your record. And the ones where maybe you weren't really feeling it, but you still did it, that's a W. Or that's that's a double U. That's a double W, right? 2 wins. Because 1, you got after it, and 2, in a way, I think you proved to yourself that you won it. Whereas there's a lot of characters, I think, where maybe they're even pretty serious about the gym. Like the want is there. And that's it's never a conscious effort. When it is, that's not an excuse. If you've just done a crazy overnight red eye, whatever, maybe next year you said, dude, I'm doing it. I'm going to the Arnold Columbus and I'm going to the Arnold UK. I'm crossing the pond. So let's say you just had like cumulative 18 hours of travel, and then you finally make it to your hotel. It's about time to go to bed so that you can wake up at a normal time the next day. And you say, okay, I really think I should get some sleep. instead of going to train. I can tell I'm so stressed out and inflamed and just like exhausted from all that travel. I should actually take a rest day so I can wake up stronger tomorrow. A situation like that, that's not making an excuse. Now, a situation of, and doesn't that suck? Doesn't that suck? The one thing that gets people to go from, I'm going to make that shit happen, to whatever, is just a little bit of comfort of, I'm going to keep playing on my phone. And I'm gonna keep playing whatever game I'm playing. I'm not even going to do anything. I'm just going to chill and like maybe half watch TV, half whatever, nothing. Just straight nothing. And it's not hard. It's not hard to completely waste time. And I'm not the most, I'm not always 100% like a Alex Hormozy, who's that other guy who's like Alex Hormozy-esque. He's been around for a lot longer. Craigslist couch flipper, like that's not what he does, but that's like something he talks about. I'm not 100% productive all the time, and I'm not 100% zen, like monk level grateful, like, okay, I have 4 more hours left in the day, I'm gonna make 100% use of it. That's not how I'm going around, but I'm trying not to completely waste my days, man. It's like, it's not hard to rot. It's not hard to bed rot, just chill, do the bare minimum, and then come back to the comfort of your nest, where you bundle up, you turn on your humidifier or dehumidifier, depending on where you live, and you get cozy and you start chilling, right? As though the world is this treacherous sort of environment where you only leave the house to go, collect necessities and then return and get back into your little bubble. It's just terrible. But I'm kind of losing my train of thought there. That took a big spin compared to what I was about to say in the beginning. But you're not going to regret getting after it. I guess that's what I'm really saying, And it's easy to say. That's incredibly easy to say, because when things are actually getting fucking rough, it's easy to say, dude, just put your life mask or put your oxygen mask on when your plane isn't like plummeting towards the ground. But just try to remember. Try to remember the hype that you get from watching a badass TikTok lifting edit at 3 in the afternoon. Don't lose that hype by 7 at night when it's time to lift. That time that you watched Rocky 4 on up in Michigan back when you were like 15, 16 or something, don't lose that hype when you come in for an arm day. That's more of a personal reference for me. But yeah, nothing else to say there. Let's just get after it. I can almost guarantee that within actually stepping foot into the gym, I should be fully pumped by probably 45 minutes. Shouldn't take too long. Arms, probably 8 sets of tries, 8 sets of buys or so, something along those lines. Yeah, that shouldn't be too long. Arms isn't the longest lift. A full leg day can be like a marathon. If you're doing a real hour-and-a-half leg day, that's legit. But arms and chest, doesn't take that much longer than 45 minutes, I feel. But that's not a cut and dry rule. That's just kind of how I'm going about it right now. But no more talking. Let's get real. All right, it's getting hot. I'm sweating just walking in the fucking gym. The freaking gym. Sorry. But yeah, I think I'm gonna have to figure out an AC situation. Not today, but soon. I gotta start wearing shorts. But I'm feeling strong. Let's bring it with the 70s and go fucking nuts. Let me just pair it with a slightly better TikTok edit, and then I'll be in business. Yeah, I know what I'm looking for. There we go. Okay. Okay. Let's hit the 60s next. I don't think I can do those again. One more of those. Okay. Let's hit a preacher. All right, that only feels okay. Let's do an easy bar curl standing, not preacher. Okay. Okay. Whew. Okay. One more. One stinking more. Let's get started with the rope. Pretty light, and I'm really trying to feel the long head of my tricep, like pull my arm around itself. It's kind of a by feel thing. Oh. 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 Okay. One more. Okay. Oh, shit. All right. I know what's next. And I haven't done it for a while. Holy shit. Whew. Okay. Let's do that again, but that is freaking heavy. Okay. Okay. Ooh, one more. Okay. Two. Okay. Whew. All right. Let's go do a regular push down now. All right. This will just be a straight up heavy one, and we'll go from there. We're getting close to done. We're not there yet, but we're getting close. Two. Okay. All right, so I just ripped some extra curls and a few single arm pushdowns. Just a few sets of like 5 alternating, just to really get as much blood into my chest as possible, or into my arms as possible. And guess what? Guess freaking what? I think it did a little something. I mean, you tell me, is that pumped or pumped? Let me adjust these lights just a teensy little bit forward. There we go. Yeah, now we're cooking. All right, let's lose the tank. I wouldn't mind a fan, but I don't want like crazy fan noise in all the lifts. And I don't mind breaking a sweat. I mean, I don't want to be like dying drenched every lift. But I mean, if you're not sweating, I don't know, it kind of feels like you didn't really do anything. Like obviously you did, but you know what I'm saying. So let me do a little fancy pants zoom. Yeah, there we go. Actually, let me hit one more of those. Oh, holy crap. Holding these poses while I'm already pumped and it's just fucking hot is getting tricky. But I feel like a total beast, which is sick. So triceps, certainly poking out. Honestly, especially this left one. My right one just inserts slightly differently. Overall, I think their size is comparable, like just about the same, just a slightly different shape. But yeah, I mean, I feel like every pose down, my midsection is just getting tighter and tighter. Oh my goodness. Maybe the extra sweating in the gym plus sweating in the sun when I get home is doing something. Not impossible, but I think that's pretty much all I got. I got 30 minutes upstairs on the bike. I'm gonna splice this little guy together, and happy freaking 4th, man. So hopefully there's a double upload today and there's something a little extra. But either way, badass lift. Let's roll.